Listening is an act of love. Thank you. You can help lift up the voices, stories, and challenges we share by making a contribution at thiswayout.org.
A sincere thank you to all of you who already support This Way Out. Your support matters.
I'm Joe Bainline.
And I'm Sarah Montague.
With NewsWrap, a summary of some of the news in or affecting LGBTQ communities around the world for the week ending February 5th, 2022. The House of Bishops of the Anglican Church in Ghana is denouncing the draft Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill currently being debated in Parliament. In an unexpected reversal of their previous position in support of the bill, the bishops now say it's too severe and must be reviewed. Some reports indicate that Ghanaian Archbishop Dr. Cyril Kobina Ben-Smith's January 28th statement was sparked by an online meeting in November with Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby, the titular head of the denomination. The statement first stressed that LGBTQI+ activities are frowned upon by the Ghanaian ethnicity, and therefore traditions, values, cultural and social frameworks must be respected and appreciated. However, it continues, nevertheless, Ghanaian citizens must not use the bill as an avenue to assault persons with homosexual orientation, but show love to them as the Church of Jesus Christ. Acts of harassment, intimidation, and hostilities against LGBTQ+ people should be condemned. The Western African nation's penal code already punishes private consensual adult same-gender sex with up to 3 years in prison. The new proposal adds at least 2 years to that sentence and punishes anyone who even advocates for LGBTQ rights with up to 10 years in prison. The bishop's statement suggests a transformational agenda instead of those harsher penalties that could mean support for the torturous and medically debunked practice of conversion therapy.
The author and primary promoter of Uganda's infamous Kill the Gays bill is dead. Former ethics minister Simon Lokodo passed away suddenly at a Geneva hospital on January 28th. Ironically, he was in the Swiss city for a UN meeting as a member of Uganda's Human Rights Commission. Same-gender sex has been outlawed in the East African nation since colonial days. Lokodo's mean-spirited measure punished repeat offenders of consensual adult same-gender sex with the death penalty. A watered-down version eventually passed in Parliament, but was overturned in court. Sexual Minorities Uganda Executive Director Frank Mugisha told the Washington Blade via email, "I do not have any ill words for Lokodo." The veteran activist added, "However, I can say that it's unfortunate that he spent his time as a government official persecuting and promoting hate against marginalized communities." Lokodo was an ordained Catholic priest under suspension during his time in political office. That did not keep him from preaching plenty of hell and damnation mixed with his policies. Out-British actor, broadcaster, and Renaissance man Stephen Fry revealed in a 2013 documentary that interviewing Lokodo prompted him to attempt suicide.
2 gay men have been executed in Iran for the crime of forced sexual intercourse between 2 men, this according to the non-governmental human rights activist news agency. Mehrdad Karimpour and Farid Mahamadi spent 6 years on death row before they were hanged on January 27th in the prison in the northwestern city of Marega. The rights group said that 2 other men were executed there for the same offense last July. Under strict Islamic law in Iran, consensual adult gay male sex is punishable with the death penalty, like murder, armed robbery, rape, and adultery. Women convicted of same-gender sex are whipped. When Iranian gay Ali Fazali Monfared was reportedly kidnapped and beheaded by family members in an honor killing last May, the U.S. State Department condemned his murder. Twitter activists are asking where the outrage is for the state executions of Karimpour and Mohammadi.
Equating your lesbian organization with pedophiles doesn't hurt your group's reputation, does it? That's how a Hungarian court saw it in a February 1st decision supporting an article in a pro-government daily newspaper. The Budapest Metropolitan Court of Appeals overruled the November decision by a lower court that called the article about the decades-old publisher Labrisz Lesbian Association unjustifiably offensive, devastating, unfounded opinion, according to Euroobserver. The appeals court decided that the article in question merely provided scientific evidence to back up Prime Minister Viktor Orban's previous comments connecting homosexuality and pedophilia. The ruling comes right on time for Orban as he escalates efforts to stoke homophobia ahead of Hungary's national elections on April 3rd. It's his most serious re-election challenge since winning office in 2010. He's even scheduled a referendum on queer rights that same day. Voters will be asked 5 highly inflammatory questions. Questions like whether they support sexual orientation workshops in schools, and if they favor gender reassignment surgery for children.
South Dakota is number 1, the first Republican-led U.S. state to pass a trans sports ban in 2022. Governor Kristi Noem signed a bill this week that says only female athletes, based on their biological sex, may participate in any team, sport, or athletic event designated as being for females, women, or girls. Noem's Chief of Staff Mark Miller made headlines across the country when he spoke to a House committee about the bill with a way over-the-top comparison.
We are seeing cases, and I think the proponents have given many examples where this is happening all over the country, including our surrounding states. And by putting it in law, we are ensuring that what we're seeing all over the country does not happen in South Dakota. It's sort of like terrorism. You want to keep it over there, not let it get to here.
South Dakota joins almost a dozen other U.S. states that already have similar laws. A second anti-trans youth bill was approved in the South Dakota House this week and is headed to the state Senate. It would force trans students to use campus restrooms and locker rooms based on their gender assigned at birth, rather than their gender identity. Republican attacks on transgendered young people continue unabated. This week, Arizona's Senate passed and sent to the state House a bill that also bans trans youth from competing on sports teams that match their gender identity.
Finally, when is a rainbow like a swastika? When a child's drawing of an umbrella with the words "gay is okay" and vertical rainbow pride flag colors becomes part of a student art exhibit. School officials at Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary School in Athens, Georgia, forced the removal of the drawing this week. An administrator claimed that a parent's complaint forced the decision to take the picture down. When local reporters asked for specifics, the officials said that exhibiting the drawing was comparable to hanging a Nazi flag. That's what other parents whose children attend Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary told local TV station WXIA. Parents like Jamila Coase says this is but the latest example in a pattern of bias at the school. Coase is also a professor at the University of Georgia. She told WXIA,
there is ongoing complaints about this current administration being discriminatory against women, being discriminatory against LGBTQ people, being discriminatory against English language learners or emerging bilinguals, emerging multilinguals, and Spanish speakers. So we have seen a pattern of inequity at our school, and we have been asking for support for, at this point, years.
That's NewsWrap, global queer news with attitude, for the week ending February 5th, 2022. Follow the news in your area and around the world. An informed community is a strong community.
NewsWrap is written by Greg Gordon, edited by Lucia Chappelle, produced by Brian DeShazor, and brought to you by you.
Help keep us in ears around the world at thiswayout.org, where you can also read the text of this newscast and much more.
And you can read the transcript and listen to NewsWrap each week by subscribing to our This Way Out radio channel on YouTube. For This Way Out, I'm Sarah Montague. Stay healthy.
And I'm Joe Bainline. Stay safe.
This Way Out delivers LGBTQ news and culture to more than 150 local communities on radio stations around the world. And we are also a free online news service.
You can choose your favorite way to listen, online or on the air, at thiswayout.org. please sign up for our free e-newsletter, Inside This Way Out.
We'll respect your trust in us and make sure your personal information is never shared with others.
Just send us an email at info@thiswayout.org to receive the informative and unique addition to the show.
You'll be invited to join us for a more in-depth look into our stories and be encouraged to learn more about This Way Out's 3 decades of broadcast activism.
We hope you choose to join us in celebration of LGBTQ history and culture.
Email us at info@thiswayout.org to join the movement.
We'll make sure you always know what's going on inside This Way Out.